Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the next replay then. This is the Tier 8 Amalfi. So, Dutch, you've got a bit of a Italian kick in you after doing the Cracchiola game before, huh?
Yeah, basically I've got 17 tech tree lines that I'm regrinding, or with a first time grind, but have them reset from tier 10. And it was Tiger Stream, and he's regrinding now the Pan Asian DD line. Also as a challenge for himself to get all the Research Bureau ships. And this was the only tier 8 cruiser or non-DD I'm at in my regrinds, so which happen to be Italian. Same reason why it doesn't have the upgraded hull yet. And again, because of the range, I've opted for the gun improvement over the hull upgrade.
Okay. And, you know, usually I always like to take the moment and highlight, if you are regrinding lines for Research Bureau, it makes perfect sense. But, you know, if you can help it, at least try to free XP the B hull. That comes in very handy. But it is what it is. So, and I see that your div mate is in a Vanguard. So, yeah, you're kind of forced to play Cruiser. And I remember the last game we saw Tiger playing the Gajimata, so that makes sense too. And I've been watching his streams. I know he's trying to get all the Research Bureau ships and stuff. So it's kind of a fun grind, something else to do. So, all right. Well, the Amalfi is an Italian heavy cruiser with a 203mm guns. She's got the fuel oil smoke, and she's got the ability to fire SAP or AP, which is fantastic for destroyers, for taking out destroyers with the SAP, as well as subs. The AP is no slouch against broadside cruisers as well. So a lot of good choices there. Play Colombo. Well, I mean, sure, but we're doing replays, and we did a Colombo replay on Friday actually. I want to highlight some other things about the boat. Because of the exhaust smoke, you do have the ability to get out of trouble if you get into trouble. You've got torpedoes that have decent to good range, 12 kilometer. If I remember right, they're a bit slower, but they can be used as good area denial, or even just kind of surprise the enemy. They completely forget torpedoes were even a thing. So a lot of things that the cruisers have going for them. Personally, I didn't enjoy grinding the Italian cruisers that much, but I did that before they were given submarine surveillance. Now they have sub surveillance. There's another thing, you know, tool in their toolbox, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, but in my experience, the sub surveillance is only useful early in the game if the enemy subs completely messes up. Because even if you are a heavy cruiser, well, pushing hard forwards to get a sub into sub surveillance, which basically lasts for only 15 seconds or something, just very little time, leaves you overexposed, and you just get hammered by BBs.
Yeah, and
suicide early.
And that's why I often said that the buff for, like, when they added this to this line, as well as the Japanese cruisers lines, I said that sometimes that's actually more of a nerf to the line than a buff, because it encourages more YOLO play style and get yourself killed. The nice thing about you and the Amalfi is that the exhaust smoke kind of helps to mitigate that slightly, right? Because you are exposed, but you can smoke while you're chased after the sub and maybe get out of there. But you're right, it's not as helpful as you would hope it would be, is essentially what we're both trying to say.
Because even the 44-second action time basically means just as soon as it starts, just 10 seconds later, you have to already be turning, otherwise you still get caught. Yep,
exactly. So let's go through the build. You've got main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems mod 1, propulsion, and then concealment. A couple of things to consider. Nothing really to mention in slots 1 and 2. Well, actually, there is one thing I'll mention in slot 1 in a moment. Hey, Rob. In slot 3, you do have the ability to take the smoke generator mod here, which does allow the smoke to, you know, last a little bit longer, but that's at the expense of your accuracy. And I think you probably care more about accuracy with your guns. So that makes sense. The big thing that I would like to mention is here. You've got a fighter aircraft, and you'd be far better suited with a spotting aircraft, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
For those of you guys not in the know, let me just explain it real quick. Fighter doesn't last as long. That's one thing. Action time is a minute versus 100 seconds. That's a bit of a difference right there. The other thing is that the spotting aircraft, I believe, goes a little bit farther out from the ship and actually does what it sounds like. It's going to spot enemies that are near you. This is very helpful if you're by yourself and you're in smoke. And against a strong carrier player, a good carrier player, they don't care about your fighter. It doesn't matter, which is sad.
Yeah,
it should matter. It doesn't.
I think I've honestly just forgotten about
Sure.
play.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry about it. But I do want to highlight this, of course, if it goes to YouTube or anybody watching right now didn't even consider this. And then going along with that, that does allow you, if you really enjoy the boat, to use a coal upgrade spotting aircraft mod. I would say this is for when you get to Venezia, right? This is a really good choice for Venezia. So, and then your captain build, standard captain, gun feeder, priority targets, superintendent, and then concealment. Not a bad choice. I would suggest instead of superintendent, you start with survivability expert, because you don't have a heal. But otherwise, this is fine.
Okay.
This is fine. Fighter also only takes down the amount of planes comparable to its own mod. Correct. So if there's 6 fighters, then it only takes down 6. So if you're up against a full squadron of 9 or whatnot, they can still get a strike through you. Spotting aircraft or fighter is only useful against bad carrier players, or players like me who just don't notice it and like derp into it. Or if you're playing in a co-op asymmetric, PvE environment where you can, put a plane up as the carrier drops on you or something, it'll actually do something. So, and you're welcome, Tank. So for signals, you've got anti-air, consumable reload, ship speed. You've got the smoke one, okay. Fire reduction and HP. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, you're not using all your flags. Doesn't matter. You don't need to. All right, let's get to the replay. Don't forget that the vote is still ongoing for our final slot for today. So far, Utrecht is in the lead by quite a lot, actually.
And this is us a few games later. So
okay.
And this is one where we actually decide to stay together, which, yeah, considering the map positioning and spawn is quite obvious.
Now you are middle tier, but because I don't see any 7s, you're kind of like,
Still bottom tier.
Yeah, exactly. You have an odd question. Which ship would people want you to suffer in? Nope. You guys, look at that, tying it up. All right, we'll have a vote off between those two then, in a moment. Which ship people want me to suffer? What should we put SFNL in? Make him suffer. I gotta think about that. Tier 1 game is fine. Electric, I don't care. No subs or CVs.
Sorry. No.
Go ahead.
Also, I think for SFNL, no matter what ship, he will do much better than most of us.
Oh yeah, he'll find he'll have a stupid game. I was actually gonna say Mikasa, Nusperkex. So there you go. Go suffer in the tier 2 Japanese premium battleship. Fail div, Black Swan, and Smith. You're just buffing his XP earning. So anyway, I mean, I like that you guys are all together now. I mean, it makes sense. You didn't spawn in the middle of the map, which is nice for a change. But you did come out broadside. Scary thought.
Yep. This was a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, I'd say. Oh, but Halford decides he wants to open up. Usually, and I like to highlight this, you want to smoke first and then start shooting. He just lost 7,000 hit points because he fired before stopping. Oof.
Yeah, and here I oofed.
Now, you beached. So, exactly, SET. Smoking earlier for you could work, but I like that you smoke now at least to try to get yourself out of trouble. Careful when shooting, there's always the possibility that you get detected by ships. But yeah, once you got detected, I'm kind of with SAT. That was a good opportunity to smoke as a reaction to that.
Do you know the smoke firing penalty of Amalfi?
Off the top of my head, no. I'd have to look it up. It's probably right down here.
Yep.
It's somewhere in here.
If you hold H and go to concealment, hover over that, then you'll get it.
Yeah.
But Dutchy, do you know?
Oh god, I hit the wrong button again.
Something about 8 or 9, I think. Of what I remember. But don't know for sure.
Yep, I bring it up for a good reason.
Why is that?
So, in your case, it is 8.7. So, if a destroyer sneaks into 8.7, that means you can't safely fire.
Yeah.
You get detected.
Yep.
It is a very common mistake for cruisers to smoke up, shoot, and then get surprised when they're still spotted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially the whatchamacallits, the oh, what was it? The Commonwealth, right? The Commonwealth cruisers?
Cerberus line?
Yeah, the Cerberus line. That's always rough.
I think I looked it up. I knew that it was slightly less than my regular concealment, or what the smoke blue was.
Wiesbaden.
And yeah, so I already noticed him going that way, so that was why I was reversing the way I am. Trying to create at least some angle, and give me an opportunity, if need be, to get away behind that island.
The problem is you don't have any room to maneuver. You're about to hit the border.
Yeah. Raise up. That's really the only flexibility that you have here. I just love that this Z35 is now saying shoot me. Wild. You play a Panama should...
And now they're giving me concealment.
Yeah, that's great.
That's very fortunate since you're stuck on a border.
It is. SF, thank you again for the gifted sub for David there. You're 303rd, and because we said Mikasa makes you laugh. I see. There might be a way to add it in here someplace. I just haven't looked at it. And my problem is I spend so much time trying to figure this out, I'm actually not playing the game while I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, I don't see it here. I don't know. Yeah, David, then we can prioritize yours. That works. Viparo, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. 3 months, look at that.
I'm curious, why didn't you press your attack on a Z?
Because at this point, I saw already the Azuma pushing, and I figured if I go a bit more south, I might get one shot on the Wiesbaden, and two, if the DDs get into the gap, like in B10, between the islands, or C10, I can support there. And I will also, if I go around the island on the outside along the 10 line, I will be completely out of the game for a while.
Okay.
Well, now I have an early opportunity to get engaged also around B cap. Because I saw the Azuma pushing, so that was why I was. What's the use that way if it's a bit of a lemming train effect, which I wanted to avoid.
Yeah, my thought is kind of similar to SATs, like similar to the last game. Win the flank that you're on, and then worry about mobility.
You could still go around this area. That's perfectly fine. It's just that Z is stuck bow in. You can easily just run up and kill him. There's nothing you can do about it.
Both of these destroyers have been playing in a way that makes me not so concerned about them. To put it nicely.
You also, yeah, your div mate, I assume you trust him.
Yeah.
So, go get the kills, get the extra XP, and the stats that come with it. So, Electric says it's third from the bottom. Visibility. I have surface and air, but I don't see... When I hover over the ship name... Well, yeah, if you hover over here, it tells you, right? Detection after firing guns and smoke for, what is it, low yang is 2.8. So yeah, you can do that.
But if you hover over it, you can't see the game.
But then, yeah, it's like, whoa! What's happening here? And
yeah,
I rebound...
is quicker.
And I rebound my H button to something else. So to see my stats, I hit the comma key, which in replays reloads the game from like 10 seconds earlier, which is what happened earlier. So good times.
I smoke here.
I don't think you needed to smoke.
Okay, I thought Zhao. So this is basically me not getting spotted by the Zhao and potentially getting the Zhao shooting at me, as well as that BB that's sitting there.
You mean the Ibuki?
Or Ibuki, sorry.
So you have 15k HP. It's not great, but if he's the only one that can shoot you, you're not worried.
The other thing is you have priority target, so you can use the smoke screen when you see that you're being targeted, as opposed to anticipating them targeting you.
Yeah, the battleships is what you're really concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna go into the cap like this, then this is probably where you want that smoke just in case.
That's right.
So basically just a bit too early.
Yes.
So yes. So you had a lot of options to dodge beforehand, but since you're going to the cap like this, then your maneuverability options are limited. That's when you want the smoke to hide yourself.
You're also offering yourself up in front of everybody. So,
yeah, I would have actually just avoided the cap entirely. I don't like going to the cap specifically. It cuts down your mobility, and you don't really have that much HP to tank.
Nope. And the problem is, these guys here kiting away aren't going to help you much either. For whatever reason...
Where should I have gone then?
You can just keep going to the... So think of it this way. Why do you want to get into the cap so quickly?
I do something like this. I go to these little islands around the corner. Maybe not this one because of the Ibuki there, but you know, work your way around here, work with this destroyer, and get in the backfield. That allows you the flexibility of disengaging when you need to. You going into the middle here, as you can see, put yourself up into a whole lot of enemy fire. And I'm curious why you didn't just sail into your div mate's smoke screen there. Instead, you're sitting next to it.
Yep.
Probably at this point, just missing it.
Okay. Because
see where the smoke is.
Yeah, but just like knowing him, but not realizing he's smoking me up in that sense.
Are you on comms?
He's streaming,
this was
so...
a silent diff, because Tiger was streaming, and...
Yeah.
I mean, if he's streaming, you could still listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was what I did, but I just... And the way I saw it was he was setting it up like in between me and the ship as well. So if the smoke is in between me and whatever is spotting me, it works just as well as when I'm in it.
Right. The problem is all these battleships and especially the Assassio are over here, so they spotted you anyway. So that curtain was completely ineffective. You would have been better suited just sailing directly into it, and then you've got that smoke. Tiger's Den's a Norwegian guy. I believe he's Norwegian, or is he Swedish?
Norwegian.
He's Norwegian, okay.
Seth, can I ask a very quick question?
Yeah.
On the replays folder, how do I know which ones are the variant for this game update here? For example, I have a bunch of replays, but how do I know, for example,
most recent update? It'll if you sort by date created, it'll be the ones that are on top or bottom.
Mm-hmm. It's easiest to go by the date.
Oh, so for example, the naming scheme, it doesn't contain, like, for example, update 14.9.
No, the naming scheme has the days in the name, which doesn't help you much.
That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just functional, that's it.
Yeah. Actually, a shame. I managed to get like over 450,000 in that replay that I did with the Montana that I sent you. Killed like 2/3 of the enemy team.
Electric does have a good point. If you use as lanes, there's a mod that allows you to sort by folder. You are so lucky that this Loyang doesn't have Hydro up right now.
I do, however, have a recorded replay that I have on it, though.
Loyang didn't have Hydro up, but Loyang also used his torps already.
Yes, yes. You're fortunate that he did that too, and he just missed it. So this is
we more or less waited for him to launch the torps before we went in.
Yep. Yep. So this is all but one at this point. And Gabriel, I don't do replay analysis off of people's videos. I've done that once before, and the problem is you lose so many things. It's really difficult to do that. You can always post your video like in the Discord, and people like SAT will chime in and give you feedback on it. I've had people do that before. Exactly, Duckman. It's not interactive. So, for example, if I wanted to demonstrate something, I can't draw on it. That's a problem. You know, I'm using your game from your perspective, so certain tools for teaching, like, for example, the Navigator mod here might not be up if you don't use it yourself when you've recorded it. I don't have the mini-map the way that I'm used to seeing it, you know. Well, you can pause the video. You can pause the video, and I did that when I did the replay for it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of wonkiness to it. And then, of course, you get the problem of, hey, Zath, go cover my replay that I recorded a year and a half ago. You know? Okay, sure. So, oof, sub went all the way over there.
You sure you're not going to cover my Supremacy League replay from like 9 years ago?
I mean, that would be fun to look at just because of the memories, but beyond that, you know.
Does it show Seth suiciding so he can actually get the comment?
Carrier side or ramming side?
That's right.
Ramming.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Because back then, there was no spectating. It was you had to die. So you had to ram, or you had to play a carrier and team kill yourself. And there was one case, and you had to do it right so that your planes landed just as you flood out, so that your planes aren't up, possibly impacting the battle too. And there was one time that somebody screwed up the team killing, and the enemy team had to team kill or the caster's team had a team kill, and that gave away like their entire position, or so. It was just stupid.
Yeah, one of the replays was just literally the caster moving his carrier. Like, what? Why are you moving your carrier? But thankfully, Wargaming simplified it.
Just a little bit.
First, it was mutual ramming, and then finally a proper spectators mode.
That's right. I'm sensing a theme here, Dutch, coming in second.
Yeah. This was another one of those double E games.
I can see that. I mean, your sap salvo on the 2 destroyers early is probably what got you so much of that, right? The Lo Yang later on, but the Halford and then the Z35.
Yeah, or the Z8 a Torp, I think, as well.
Yes. Yes. So, a pretty solid game. Firestall high. We'll find out. I haven't even played with it or tried it, so I have no idea anything to do with that. I just hear people talking and freaking out about it. That's all I hear. So, I don't know what there is to talk about this one. I think that the last one was probably the better replay for conversation, for covering stuff, but this one still had some decent things, especially going into the B cap when you walked in to be there. You got very lucky that all, like 2 or 3 of those battleships just didn't seem to care you were there.
Yeah, true.
Because that should have been an easy kill for them.
That was a bit of a gamble I made.
And the nice thing about the smoke is, hey, if you get into trouble, you can smoke yourself. The problem is that in this replay, both times that you were in trouble, your smoke wasn't available, right? The first time you came up broadside and didn't smoke immediately, you waited until you beached and then you smoked. So kind of like, you know, you're not in trouble anymore, but you smoked anyway. And then when you went into B, you smoked first instead of holding your smoke to go into the cap and then smoke when you know people are targeting you. So
yeah, just so work on the timing of the smokes.
Yes, exactly. And that's hard. It's probably one of the hardest things for this Italian cruiser, battleship, destroyer lines to sort out is when should I be smoking? Because you can't use it the same way that you're used to with regular destroyers. So
yep, and that's one I also struggle with Commonwealth cruisers.
Yep. All right. Well,
how or when to use the smoke.
Oh, Commonwealth, they're so... Yeah, that line was probably the most painful line I ground through in recent memory. So, oh well.
Okay.
But thanks for sending the replays in. Thanks for joining in voice. It was always nice to be able to talk through these with you.
You're welcome, and thank you very much. And also, thank you, SCT.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I hope the advice helps you in your future games.
I hope as well. And it's to me to apply it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.